Hi everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. Today I'm here to show you how to make a card that I just posted on my blog today using the Nothing's Better Than stamp set. I absolutely love how this card turned out. Actually, I love every card that I make with this stamp set and coordinating dies. So let me just switch over to my desktop and we'll get started. Okay, so everything I need here. So this is the card that I posted on my blog today. All of the instructions for this, written instructions as well as the measurements, are posted on the blog, which I will put the link to below this video so that you can go back and check it out. And you don't have to worry about getting the measurements here because they're all on the blog post. So, like I said, I use the Nothing's Better Than stamp set and coordinating dies. So this was $1 million stamp set, so designed by Connie Stewart, and the coordinating dies. And it's just amazing with all of the sentiments. It's just kind of perfect for some mornings and some days. So on mine, I said, today's plan to consume coffee, and I'm pretty sure tomorrow will be too. And then on the inside, it says, because adulting is hard. Isn't that cute? So this was really, pretty easy to put together, and I'm just going to show you how to use you probably can't see it. The coffee is popped up, and I use the foam adhesive sheets to do that, and I'll show you how to do that. So, okay, so I have everything that I need. Let's put this aside. As I said, all the measurements will be on my blog. So this is a piece of thick Whisper White cardstock. Sorry, not Whisper White, Very Vanilla cardstock that is cut 4 1/4 by 11. And I'm just going to fold it in half. My bone folder. Oops. Get a nice crease. All right, so that's the card base. And then I have 3 different layers here. So my first layer is Early Espresso, and it is cut 4 inches by 5 1/4. The next layer will be this layer of Balmy Blue. So I'm just going to adhere this down. This is cut 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Again, the measurements are all going to be on the blog, so you go back to it and get them. There we go. And then one last layer is cut. This is Very Vanilla, just a regular Very Vanilla, and this is cut 3 3/4 by 5. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually emboss this, and I'm going to use the Tasteful Textile embossing folder. I just love this one to give a little bit of texture onto a layer on your cards. So we'll just put this in and run it through, which I have my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine here. If I can get it to go through. All right. Get the layers right, and then it would go through. There we go. And one too many layers, one in the sandwich. Okay. Put that off to the side. I don't know if you can see. You can just kind of see the lovely detail to this. It's just very subtle. So this will go on next. Even. There we go. All right, so that's my card base. Actually, this can all go on to the card base, this first layer. There we go. Okay, so that's my card base. So now I have a few scraps here. I have a scrap of Very Vanilla that I'm going to stamp. I'm going to stamp 3 of the mugs. I'm not sure why this, I don't know, did anybody grow up watching the Jetsons as a kid? It's my favorite cartoon that was on. It was a cartoon about a family living in, probably the 20th century. I don't remember now, probably the time we're in, but of course we don't have flying cars and robot maids and things that this did. But for some reason, these cups remind me of the Jetsons, and I'm not sure why, but anyway, they're maybe it's just the vintage feel to them. So I'm just stamping to give. So this is using Balmy Blue. I think that's, so yeah, okay. And then the other piece that I need that I realized I've forgotten, so I'm just going to quickly grab, is the Celebration Labels dies. So I've got them here. And we're going to cut. So I have used the second to the smallest of these label dies. These are really cool. They give you really big that you can use for bag toppers. You fold it in half. It's a great set of dies. So that's the Celebration label dies. So that's the right size. So I'm going to cut that out, and I'm going to, from these dies that coordinate with the stamp set, I've got the cup, the little mug, and the coffee. We'll do that, get these all ready to go at the same time. Okay, so those. All right, so on my piece, I've got a scrap of Whisper White cardstock. So the foam adhesive sheets come, they are, I don't remember what size they are. 4 and 9/16 by 4 3/8. Anyway, you can cut them down to whatever size you need, and they come, I think there's 6 sheets in a package. So I'm just going to take my scissors. I don't need very much of this, so if I just place my kind of die over top of it, I can cut the size that I need. I just find this is easier than trying to, I don't want to put the whole thing on a piece on the cardstock, because then I'll waste it. So if I just cut a piece out that I need, the size I need, and peel the backing off, and then we'll just put it down in this corner, and then my die can just go on top. Okay, so I'm just going to run these through, get my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine set up. Magnetic cutting plate on. So you can actually run these, depending on how much I have enough room, I think, to actually be able to cut at least some of these out at the same time. Okay. Ooh, ouch. Hit my thumb. Okay, so that's my label. Isn't it nice? It's got the stitching around it. And I've got one coffee cup cut out. So I now can get another coffee cup cut out, and then I'll do my coffee. Now, using these foam adhesive sheets, they say they best work with open dies, but I've used it. This is quite an intricate die. I find that you can actually use it with these as well. You just might have to run it through a couple of times to get all of the little pieces cut through. But it is, the recommendation is that they work best with open dies. So I'm just going to run this through a couple of times to make sure I get all the little bits in the word. All right, I'm not going to take that off for a minute, and I have one mug, my second mug, oops, one mug left to cut. Right. Scrap. And there's my third mug. Okay, let's put my die away before I misplace it. So the first thing you want to do, the first thing I did was to take my early espresso ink and at the top I'm going to stamp today's plan, consume coffee. And then at the bottom I'm stamping, and I'm pretty sure tomorrow will be 2. There we go. While I have my early espresso ink out, I'm going to stamp the inside of the card. Because adulting is hard, and I'm going to stamp a mug in the corner. Oops, get some ink on my fingers. And there. Oops. Okay, so that's my stamping done. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I'm going to just peel off, unstick this. Now I'm leaving the die on, and I just find it easier to leave the die on the top of it and to peel off as I go. So the one thing you will want to do is poke out the centers of the E's. And the bottom of the F's. So you can see I ran this through, I think twice, maybe 3 times. And just by running it through some extra times, these little bits come out really easily. Just makes your life easier when they come out so easy, and you're not fussing and having to take scissors to, got one little bit in there, scissors to try and get them out, which is always frustrating. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm just going to put this in the middle, and then you can take and poke using your take your pick tool, your piercing tool, just kind of press down and pull the die away. I just find this easier to get it in position. There. Okay, now I have some of the very vanilla with the gold metallic, so it's the gold metallic edged ribbon. And I'm just going to take, it's probably about, I don't know, 3.5 inches. I'm just going to fold this. I'm using just a little bit of Stampin' Seal. I'm just going to tear my ribbon down, so that will then just go on. And I'm just using Stampin' Seal. You could use dimensionals to adhere this down, but I find that I'm going to use dimensionals on the cups, and I've already got the coffee popped up, so I just got just a little piece here that's foam that's showing. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to use dimensionals on each of, just one dimensional is really all you need on the coffee cups. And we'll just there we go. And then the last thing I added were some of these gilded gems. I really love the gold, so just added some gilded gems. Oops, sticking to my fingers this morning. There. there, and there. Goes back in. So that's my card. So was pretty easy to put together once you have your die cuts all cut out. So I'm sure people would love to receive this in the mail. I know I would. So that's the card that I put. Let me just switch back to. All right, so that was my card. I hope you enjoyed it. As I said, I will put the link to my blog post so that you can see all of the written instructions as well as the measurements for this card will be on the blog post, as well as some images of the card itself. When you're checking this video out, I'd love for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you can get notified when I post more videos in the upcoming weeks. So thanks everybody for joining me. Hope you enjoyed the card. Bye.